Hello, and welcome to CFER's very own podcast series, Get a Grip Unfair. My name is Hochman, and I'm a board chair of CFER and an applied economist at Rutgers University. With me is Jane Kolodinsky, CFER board member and chair of the Community Development and Applied Economics at the University of Vermont. And we are here to discuss ERS with Spiro Stefanou. We thank him for joining us today for our podcast, Meet ERS.
Thank you so much for that introduction and welcome, Spiro. I get the first question, and I wonder if you can tell us a little bit about the Economic Research Service, or ERS, and its mission, so that our audiences know what ERS does.
Thank you, Jane, and thanks for having me. So ERS is providing trusted, objective, and timely research and statistics to inform and enhance public and private decision-making on the economic issues related to agriculture, food, the environment, and rural America. Now, we do this by producing these timely economic statistics, and we build and strengthen research data on agriculture and rural America. And we pride ourselves on providing the public with trusted resources on an information and secure means of data dissemination.
With the changes over the last few years, is ERS ready for the challenges of the coming decade?
Yeah, ERS has been on a rebuilding mission. We are hiring aggressively after having lost about 70+% of our staff. In the last 18 months, we've increased our staffing by over 225%. And many of these staff are seasoned professionals as part of the research staff and management team. So we have programs in place to make sure we onboard and mentor our staff, as well as creating professional development opportunities. Many of them have joined us during the pandemic, so that's an additional challenge in onboarding. We are a vibrant crew at ERS, and we're ready to rise to every challenge we face. So as we rebuild, we're also focused on having a diverse workforce. So we're ready to look like America. And this rebuilding opportunity gives us an opportunity to pivot in a direction to meet the nation's needs for 2025, 2030, and beyond. So in research programs, we've been very, very effective. We've reacted to the pandemic. We developed a special ERS COVID-19 rapid response team that's providing timely economic analysis to help policymakers understand the current impact and status of the pandemic. We developed a working paper series related to COVID-19 to provide initial research and try to get short turnaround timeframe work out. We have developed a partnership with the U.S. Census Bureau and 5 other federal agencies in doing the Household Pulse Survey, which is producing statistics on food insufficiency during the pandemic. And we are even collecting weekly updates on food retail sales and food service transactions. This is critical information on the effects of the pandemic and other stressors to the food system. More generally, we're looking to do a greater integration of how the ag, environment, and food system intersects with health and the evolving societal interests that impact the well-being of our nation's citizens. We have the themes of the department are agriculture and climate change, food access and food insecurity, open and competitive markets, and focusing on racial and social equity. And as a research program in that area, we need to ensure our research programs are able to address the questions impacting socially disadvantaged and underrepresented farmers and ranchers.
Well, thank you for that, Spiro. And that leads me right into my next question. So ERS is part of USDA, which is actually part of our federal government. And you've talked about conducting research as well. Can you talk to us about the ability for ERS to balance being relevant, that is meeting the needs of our government and our policymakers, with being independent? And that means conducting unbiased third-party research.
Sure, that's a great question. You know, we're one of 13 federal statistical agencies, and we are responsible for the integrity, objectivity, impartiality, utility, and even the confidentiality of information collected for statistical purposes. So we have a very high bar to clear. And our goal at ERS is to be relevant, to be demand-driven, and objective. So we conduct that independent research, as you mentioned, Jane, and analysis to inform policymakers and other stakeholders. Now, we see no conflict between engaging the relevant issues and offering an independent voice. Policymakers articulate the initiatives and the issues they wish to address. ERS takes on the challenge to craft a compelling research questions and agenda that provides insights that aid our understanding of these contemporary and emerging policy challenges. And this is where we contribute.
So what is on your agenda right now? How are you contributing in the ag, food, and environmental sectors, including contributions to rural America?
Well, economists are not very good at offering solutions. We are at our best at providing insight into how markets can and will react to changes, as well as when markets fail. We offer insights into the behavioral aspects of how consumers interact with the markets. And we offer insights into measuring the impact of economic decisions on consumers, producers, marketers, and others who engage in exchange. As we look at these emerging challenges, agriculture and climate change, this changing climate influences many aspects of the agricultural economy. The agricultural sector has impacts on climate change and is providing opportunities for reductions in greenhouse gas emissions through better manure management practices to changes in biofuels. We have developed at ERS additional modeling capacity to better understand the ways in which these factors intersect to impact the farm economy and production. And we're also focused on enhancing our already extensive data products in this direction. So we're looking at additional data collection through existing survey instruments or new ones that will help better inform the role of conservation practices in soil health, carbon sequestration, impacts on farm household income due to changes in commodity rotations, cost of production due to different production practices in response to climate change, as a number of examples. There's also food access and food insecurity, and we are monitoring the prevalence and severity of food insecurity among U.S. households and variations across race, ethnic groups, geographic areas, and the impacts of well-being of children, adults, families, and communities. We are looking at open and competitive markets. Trade is a mechanism to expand market access and growth for U.S. farmers. ERS invests in data to track the movement of agricultural products and the agreements that promote and hinder trade. So these data inform the ag sector and are used to support objective research and analysis on emerging trade issues and trends. And then when we look at racial and social equity, what we are doing as an agency is focusing on diversity through hiring, outreach, and building the workforce pipeline, a lot of capacity building activities. We participate in intern programs. We bring about 30 interns in every year from a variety of programs, including the 1890 Scholar Program. We partner with minority serving institutions and historically Black colleges and universities to build programs that will establish a pipeline for us for career, who are interested in careers in the ag social sciences. And we, of course, participate in lots of conferences and organizations that help build that pipeline, economists and other social scientists. So we have a very active agenda ahead of us, and we embrace the challenge.
Can you summarize the emerging priorities or the key issues that ERS sees as its focus in the coming 5 years or so?
In the coming 5 years, we're going to be focusing on making a difference broadly. That's our goal. And to make a difference requires us to have an impact, which behooves us to be relevant, being timely, and communicating our research well. So we do a lot of great research in all these different areas. Our Our food economics division is very focused on food access, emerging focus, greater focus on health and food. Our resources and rural economics division is focused on a diverse set of activities. The rural economies agenda is going to loom very large as we look at rebuilding our economy back, especially in rural areas. And our market and trade economics division is focused on the opportunities for trade with a lot of trade disruption in the last several years. Where are those opportunities? Where are food products flowing? And we're looking at those patterns. And then as you start to connect the issues of climate change, they cut across the branches. As an example, climate change will have an impact on markets, will have an impact on the structure of the agricultural sector, have impact on productivity growth, have an impact on food access. And so there are myriad and a spider web of connections here that will make this a very exciting time to be working at ERS.
And thank you. This is very interesting to learn about ERS. And is ERS collaborating with other federal, or how is it collaborating actually with other federal agencies like NAS? And I'm also
here at ERS, and we work collaboratively with all the other mission areas in USDA, every single one. We work with NAS, of course, in collecting data with the ARMS, the Agricultural Resource Management Survey. We add to that survey every year. We rotate with it. NAS and ERS are very strong partners. We just developed a new survey with the help of NAS, the Survey of Irrigation Organizations. First time this survey has been done in over 40 years. And we surveyed almost 2,700 different organizations. We see water everywhere in agriculture, but in the data. And so we're trying to address that issue. We work with the Foreign Ag Service on many trade-related issues and providing them analysis and other information that could help them with their initiatives. We work with the Food and Nutrition Service on a lot of food access related and food security issues. We work with rural development in terms of broadband analysis and the impact that broadband can have on rural economies. We work with the market and regulatory, gotta remember what they call it, MRP, market and regulatory programs. Market and regulatory programs deal with APHIS and with the Ag Marketing Service. The Ag Marketing Service provides us a lot of data for a lot of our outlook reports. We work with let's see, let's pause for a second. We work with other agencies outside of USDA. We have work going on with the Department of Defense, looking at veterans, food insecurity. We work with the Department of Energy on issues related to conservation. So the list goes on and on.
To reflect just a moment, Spiro, I want to say that as a researcher, an applied researcher, I am just so happy to hear that ERS is getting back up to speed, and you've hired so many people, and that it's an amazing cross-cutting organization that both serves policy needs but also conducts independent research that is needed to keep our economic and agricultural systems humming. And so it's been a pleasure to speak with you from my point of view.
Thank you very much. This is very interesting, and I just echo what Jane said. Before we wrap up, I want to offer a big thank you to you, Spiro. I also like to thank my colleague Jane and CFIR's Strategic Communication Max. We're also happy you, the audience, joined us. The podcast and other CFIR programs wouldn't be possible without the continuing support of the Agriculture and Applied Economic Association, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, National Agricultural Statistical Service, and the Economic Research Service. Thank you.
Thank you.